All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And through the Spirit, I wanted to get into this quick news, prophetic news update. And as you can see in the title, Woo Boy, it's about to get painful out here. And this is based on a couple of articles that I have here. I have three articles here, all of which is like it lines up with the title that I have here, and pretty much, man. And I have a few more articles, but Lord willing, I'll go into that another later. But yeah, it's all pointing to pain. And the thing about it is, a lot of these painful, fearful headlines are all projected for the most part for 2022. And when you think about it, what are we in? September, so October, November, December. There's about 3 more months and some change left, and yet there's all this terrible news about what's to happen in 2022. So that sounds like a lot of bad things in a very short period of time. Now, the first article here, just getting straight to the point, is dealing with um, basically this energy or price cap, right? This energy price cap that the EU, and the West want to impose upon Russia, which, as this article is going to go into, it says Russia warns the West energy price cap will be your undoing. Now, when you actually read into it, you'll see how this is pretty much going to turn bad news into terrible news and terrible news into horrible news. So now it says here, which also you had the whole situation with the Queen of England dying and all of that. And you have people that don't actually understand what that means, where you have, and I'm talking about people that are not in the know, that are, oh, feeling bad. Oh my gosh, the Queen died, and oh no, and she did a lot, and she did this, but they have no idea what that means. Literally, it said that Prince Charles, or now King Charles, succeeded the throne immediately. Now, this man, if you knew who he's in cahoots with and what he stands for, you would be really concerned about the next steps that the world is about to go in. I'm not even going to isolate it to just UK or just Europe, but the world is about to go in, and it starts with crisis. Okay, it starts with crisis. Go back and listen to COP26. Go back and listen to the agendas that were put on the table during these World Economic Forum meetings, the Davos meetings. Go back and listen to those, and listen to what they were saying. Listen to who was involved in it, and you'll understand. All right, you'll understand. But let's get into this real quick, because pain is coming. So it says here, Russia warned the West on Friday that plans to try to cap the price of Russia's oil and gas exports in retaliation for the war in Ukraine would fail and ultimately lead to the instability of the United States and Europe. Now, let's think about this. If I was the elites, what would be my actual goal? Instability of the United States and Europe? Yes, definitely on the list. Okay. They need to break down the different governments, and they need a very good excuse and crisis to use to do so, because only in breaking it down can they rebuild it how they want it to be. All right, why fix something that's not broken? And if you still want to fix it, then you have to break it. But nobody's just gonna go break their own chair in their house, just so they can buy a new one. Nobody's gonna actually do that, right? It looks great. Why you? Oh, because you want a new one. I broke a perfectly good working chair just because I want a new one. But if they could say, oh well, how convenient that it broke on its own just when we needed a new one, that's a different kind of story, right? And Barakatha how about Shemi Shai, because these are signs, like we're literally at the end of days. These are the last few prophecies that we're seeing manifest, and it's actually happening. Okay, Jacob's trouble is not getting further and further away. It's only getting closer and closer and closer. And if you're paying attention, if you're watching the signs, you can see that a very very painful reality is hitting. All right, and there is no way around it. There was another article that I had that said the scariest paper of 2022. All right, and it's going into, it says pretty much how millions of Americans are about to lose their job or are about to become unemployed in the following months of 2022 because in Biden's America. And we told you, I mean, go back and watch the videos from a couple years ago as we warned you what would happen. This guy comes in office. Everybody was rejoicing. Yeah, Trump is out of here. We got this guy. Now look at the sentiment of the people. And they're seeing, wow, it's like this guy is purposely doing everything wrong. I mean, if you want to talk about doing everything right, yeah, he's doing everything right if you want to destroy an economy. How to destroy an economy, how to destroy a country's legacy, 101, then he's doing everything right. It says the confrontation over Ukraine has prompted European Union customers to reduce their purchases of Russian energy, while both the G7 and the EU are trying to impose a price cap on Russian oil and gas. Oh, the scriptures talk about in Second Ezra 15 about how this just made me think about that, right? About how victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, but even then shall evils grow upon the earth. You know, and an example is when one example, right? When things get too pricey and inflation starts to rile, one method that they try to do is they implement price caps where the government says that this is the amount you have to sell your product at. You cannot sell it more than this, right? Which will ease up for the consumer so they can actually afford certain things. But those are actually steps that are taken when history repeats itself, because those are steps that are taken that ultimately still lead to an economic collapse due to inflation, hyperinflation, and just the death of an economy. Okay, but putting price caps on something does not actually fix it. It's like having a broken arm and trying to piece it together with a band-aid. It's not going to fix anything. Anyway, it says here, just before the EU announced a price cap on Russian gas on Wednesday, President Vladimir Putin threatened to sever supplies if such limits were imposed, warning the West it would freeze like a wolf's tail in a fairy tale. You hear that? Because you literally depend on this oil, this gas that's coming from Russia, and you're trying to act like you don't need like you're acting as though you can hurt them when every move you make in an attempt to hurt them hurts you and the people in your country. And one can only stop and think you're not actually that ignorant of things. You know, it's only a matter of time before people start wising up and realizing, no, 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 you guys actually want this to happen. All right, this isn't no, let's hurt Russia and it's not working. Why are you still doing it? It says the group of seven major industrialized countries want to impose an oil price cap that would deny insurance, finance, and brokering to oil cargoes priced above a yet to be set price cap on crude and two products. Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said the West did not understand how much steps would ultimately impact their own countries, which would ultimately slip up. The collective West does not understand the introduction of a cap on prices for Russian energy resources will lead to a slippery floor under its own feet. So they're about to be they're about to be their own undoing. It says here now here's the good part. Russia's top lawmaker said on Friday that the West's plans would fail and that prices would soar far beyond their attempted artificial price ceiling. All right. It says here, It says, what G7 state officials call a price ceiling will become a price floor. That's not good news for them at all. What you're trying to put as a price ceiling, a cap, is going to become the price floor, meaning the lowest you can go is what you deem to be the highest. Right? It says here, Vyacheslav Volodin, the Speaker of Russia's lower house of parliament, the Duma, wrote on his Telegram channel, the global market is not limited to 7 countries. All right. Um, it says here, okay. Well, here's one. It says, we are in an energy war with Russia. Czech Industry Ministry Joseph Sikela said as he arrived at the emergency Brussels meeting. This is, I wouldn't even call this a Pyrrhic victory because you're not winning. You're losing resources while you're losing. All right. So maybe more like a Pyrrhic loss. All right. But as you keep on going, there's more stuff in there. Let me drop this first article here in the live chat. And Lowell in the Spirit reminds me I will link them in the description box. So after this video, you can still go back and check the description and get these articles. But the next one, it says here from ZeroHedge.com, top rice exporter, India, curbs shipments, adds to fresh food inflation fears. And it just seems like the problems never stop, right? Damn, it's one thing after another thing. And before you can even finish processing one thing, another thing comes in and hits it. It says, we told readers in April that the next challenge for the global food supply, and it's like one resurfaces, then another comes on, it takes the first place, then it falls down, then another one takes first place, right? Be it energy, be it food, be it inflation, be it war, you know, be it, depression, whatever it is. And it's like they just keep cycling. So in this month, fears of global food shortages are at the top of the list. But in next month, something happens that pushes fears of a depression or a recession or hyperinflation to the top of the list. Then the next month, fears of energy prices, and they just keep toppling each other, escalating to new heights. And here it is, the consumer is here thinking that everything is going to be okay. At least those that are not aware. You have no idea how painful it's about to get. Absolutely no idea. It says, we told readers in April that the next challenge for the global food supply could be a plunge in rice production. Then in early August, severe heat waves in India, the world's biggest rice shipper, wreaked havoc across farmland in the country. And how are these heat waves happening? How is it that, droughts, heat waves, floods, I mean, there's this different disasters that are happening. And how do you think that's happening? That's because Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is orchestrating it all. All right. And he's setting up the perfect condition for Jacob's trouble. So when Jacob's trouble fully commences, you won't need to ask whether we're in Jacob's trouble or not. Looking around you will give you all the answer you need. It says here, today India restricted some rice exports and placed levies on others, exacerbating a world already squeezed by a food crisis. Bloomberg reported India imposed a 20% duty on white and brown rice exports and banned shipments of broke rice, parboiled, and basmati rice were excluded from the export duty and or trade restrictions. The new curbs apply to about 60% of India's rice exports and go into effect Friday. And these things are happening quick. India's clampdown on grain exports is to calm domestic prices after low rainfall during the monsoon season curtailed planting. The country accounts for 40% of global rice shipments and could spark yet another wave of food inflation for the poorest countries importing the grain. Okay? And like I said, just as your mind is trying to focus on one and check, and then another one comes because we are in that time. And these warnings and warnings and warnings are going to turn into things that are actually affecting you, all right, in your everyday to day life. And people are not going to know what to do They're going to listen to what the governments are telling them, and they're going to realize that it's not helping and it's backfiring. And people are going to start losing it. Okay, but that's why the scriptures say in Isaiah 33:6 that knowledge, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. It'll keep your mind stable to know what's going on, to understand why it's happening, to understand what it's leading to, and to understand what to do. Okay, it'll keep you calm, and Lord willing, it'll keep those that are around you calm because you will have some sense of direction. And even for things that you don't know or understand, the Spirit of the Lord will guide you, all right, as needed. So you can have the relief of not worrying, not stressing out. It says such severe disruption, and people are gonna these hard times are gonna highlight the value in the men of the Lord. Because right now, what makes us valuable, of course, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay, and the information, the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the oil, right, which gives our lanterns light. So when the darkness comes, is when people are gonna value those lanterns, right? You notice that people, everybody's so accustomed to you come home, you flick the light switch, and it comes on. Everybody's so accustomed to, oh, you can use the flashlight on your phone. But the second an EMP hits and all electronics are down, that's when all of a sudden lanterns and those matches and candles become the top of the list. All of a sudden everybody they love lanterns. Oh my gosh, yes, I'm so happy. I remember I bought one of these a long time ago and I never really used it, but boy, am I glad that I have it. So you see how circumstances change perspective. So all of a sudden, something that was sitting there, you walk past it as caught dust, becomes the most valuable thing to you now because now your circumstances require you to rely on this. Well, that's why the Lord said, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold." Why? Because the circumstances are going to force you to rely on men of the Lord because we are going to have the Spirit of the Lord guiding us. So we're going to have answers to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, you know, and people are going to need that. Right now, they don't see that. It's not highlighted to them. So they don't care. It doesn't mean that it's any less important, but they just don't care. So when their life gets affected, then they're going to see, oh, the only way now is through this. So now they're going to run. That's why the scripture said they're going to run to and fro seeking the word of the Lord. Okay? When you're full and there's no food, it's whatever. When you're hungry and there's no food, that's a problem. See? Food is regular when you're full. But when you're hungry, that thing is the most you how is it that you can go from opening your refrigerator, seeing, I don't know, a loaf of bread in there and whatever, and just whatever, close it back up. And that same loaf of bread, depending on what condition you are in, you'll be willing to kill somebody. You'll be willing to commit murder for that same loaf of bread. What? Because of your circumstances, because of your conditions. So that's why it is a light thing for the Lord to make a man more precious than fine gold. It is a light thing for the Lord to cause Isaiah 4:1. All he has to do is just change the circumstances. All right. People react, humans are reactive creatures. You react to circumstance, you react to your environment, you react to people, you react to pain, you react to everything. And the Lord knows just the right set of events to get just the right reaction that he wants, be it fear, pain, agony, sorrow, humility, anger, whatever it is, the Lord knows just the right series of events to get maximum maximum reaction. Okay, so everything you see happening is going to lead to exactly what the scriptures say in written in these prophecies. How the people are going to react, how the prophecies are going to come to pass. What effect is going to have on the world. All of these things, the Lord knows just what to do, when to do it, how to do it to cause that. And that's what we're seeing. It says such severe disruptions in global supplies, combined with a record level of consumption worldwide, should supercharge prices. Oh, Lord. Supercharge prices and further fuel food inflation. So You got energy crisis. How does this sound when you can food prices are pretty high now, right? But the problem is energy, gas. This is so much that it's getting hard to afford food and pay rent, right? So imagine on top of this, now you got to deal with food prices going up. Di- Man, look, let's just say it's going to get bad, all right? It's going to get bad, man. People are going to start losing it, and you're going to see it. It says here, this, should supercharge prices and further fuel food inflation, said Sabrine Chaudhry, head of commodities at Fitch Solutions. Let's see. It says, according to Chukite, we'll omit the last name for now, right? Honorary president of the Thai Rice Exporters Association, imposing a 20% levy is a big deal. This move will cause global rice prices to rally. And rice is like a universal food. Everybody eats rice. Everybody, I mean, for the most part, I like rice, right? But rice prices are going to rally. They're going to start going up, which means that when you go to the supermarket, you'd be lucky to find rice. And if you do, it's going to be very expensive. What to do? What to do? It says here, a, uh, a fuss want man. Look, we'll just omit the name. All right. It says so. O said traders would be forced to purchase from rivals, Thailand and Vietnam. Struggling to increase shipments will send prices even higher. Revelation 6, right? It's inflation, hyperinflation. India's export restrictions will be a massive blow to importing nations in Asia and Africa that consume the grain. Persistent inflation, especially food and energy, could spark further civil unrest worldwide, second Ezra, the ninth chapter, over the next coming months. And it's even more painful because now it's winter, it's cold. The forecast for impending global turmoil to deepen was published in a new note by Verisk Maplecroft, a UK-based risk consulting and intelligence firm. So there's a forecast for impending global turmoil. So I mean, hey, this is we're seeing the things we've been prophesying about, all right, and they're happening. And experiencing something versus talking about it or reading about it, these are two different things. All right, completely different fields. And this is the last one here. Oh, Slakia, I don't think I put this in the chat. Let's go ahead and drop that there. And I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be more than glad to have been in this truth, to stay in this truth, to know the things you know, and to gain that connection with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You're gonna be more than glad because that is the only, like, I mean, literally, this is a life-saving ingredient. And it is only one way to get it. And once you have it, you have it. So if you had it and you lost, I mean, people in the world are gonna have regret for not gaining it. People who had it and then lost it, I don't know what they're gonna do because this is literally your life. All right, if you're in this truth, this is your life, and you're gonna see that your labor, your work, everything you sacrifice for the Lord will be exchanged for what the Lord is gonna do for you in that time, or do to you. Yo, this guy's face, man. Oh Lord, I mean, his face just says it all. It says the clock is ticking. Canada just hiked its key rate by a supersized 0.75%. Here's what the move could mean for U.S. consumers. Now, I haven't, I know I did a video earlier today and I've been trying, but I didn't get a chance to fully read through this article. So we're going to read, through it a bit. I know sometimes Yahoo Finance articles are pretty lengthy. So we'll just read through a bit just to hit certain key parts. And I'll link it I'll throw it in the live chat as well. So it says 2 weeks out from his next interest rate announcement. And isn't it interesting how people still are listening to this guy when Last year they came out and said no inflation. Then they switched up and said, okay, some inflation, but it's going to be transitory. Then they switched and said, no, it's not going to be transitory, but we'll have a soft landing. Then they said, oh, doesn't look like there's going to be a soft landing. Then they said, now we're in a position where we either hike up interest rates to an insanely high amount to try and battle inflation, or we let inflation kill the economy. Hmm. Either way we go, it's going to be painful. Oh, now it's going to be painful. But they knew it was going to be painful from last year, from years before, because they set it up that way. The system is not designed to continue on, and pumping all this money in here, all it does is it speeds up the death of this economy. That's what they're doing. All their tactics they're doing is to speed it up and to make sure they're in the best possible position at the crash, and you're in the worst possible position. So push them, push them higher, spread the gap between the people and them, the elites, even more, and leave you at their mercy. So now when they come to you with a UBI, universal basic income, you're gonna run to them for it. Now when they come to you to say, hey, I'm ready to put a C-hip inside of you, you're gonna run to them for it because you're gonna be at their mercy. It says here, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's next step in the fight against inflation seems all but guaranteed. And savings, save saving up in your bank account, candidly speaking, is not gonna protect you at all against inflation. That's why people go and buy silver and gold. I'm not giving you financial advice. I mean, you do what you gotta do. But I am saying that there's a reason why people do that. Because saving does what are you saving? You're saving money that's devaluing, right? So you work super, super hard. You save up $10,000 so that when hyperinflation sets in, or really just as the inflation gets worse, your $10,000 becomes worth $5,000. It becomes worth $2,000. It becomes worth $1,000, and then it becomes worth $500. Meaning you have $10,000, but it's only worth $500. It can only buy $500 worth of things. So what was the point in saving? So you can lose all that money in a matter of months? It doesn't make sense, right? You're gathering up something that's going to be losing value anyway, like building a house upon a volcano, you know? So, I mean, it's coming, it's coming. It says here, pressure on Powell is increasing, especially in the wake of his Canadian counterpart announcing a supersized 0.75% hike to his country's overnight borrowing rate on September 7th. The move only adds more stress for Canadian consumers to shoulder when they're already grappling with a difficult housing market and heavy debt loans. But what might it mean for their southern neighbors? With the Fed's next meeting scheduled for September 20th to 21st, analysts are already wagering that Powell will follow in Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem's footsteps, meaning they're going to also raise the interest rates. Here's why central banks around the world are entertaining such drastic measures and what it means for consumers on both sides of the border. Let's see. It said a little bit of pain is the goal. Normally, the Bank of Canada aims to keep inflation at a modest 2%, just like the Federal Reserve does. But with Canada's inflation rate hovering at 7.6% in July, just a hair under its highest rate in 40 years, the bank has had to call in the big guns. And wait till what's happening in China starts happening here. Wait till the bank runs start. People are going to find out what the definition of fractional reserve banking is when they go to the banks and try to take their money out. When you think you're the first one, and you get there and there's a line longer than the whole damn street, and everybody's what's going on, man? What's going on? And then before you know, you see some security guards come out and tell you the bank is closed. They're declaring a bank holiday. Bank holiday? What the hell is a bank holiday? It's a Monday. I need my money. People don't even know what that means. So they're standing out there confused You know, what's going on? What do they mean? I can't get my money. Ah, what do you mean you can't get my money? You know, people are gonna start losing it. You don't want to be around there at that time. You know, as they're looking around, they're trying to, yo, what do we do? Yeah, and they're gonna. That's when reality's gonna set in. I saved up all my money, man. I knew I should have got it earlier. Now what am I gonna do? Hmm. You gonna find out what's going on. That's what you're gonna do. All right. And then, or maybe you may be able to go in and they tell you, all right, I'm trying to withdraw everything. And then the ATM is not letting you. So you go to the teller. Yeah, all right, I want to take out everything out of my savings. We're sorry, sir. At this time, we're only allowing customers to take out $50 max. $50? No, 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 no. Everything in my savings. I want it. I want it now. I'm sorry, sir. We just don't have the money to give you right now. What do you think? What do you think my man's is gonna do after saving for a rainy day? It ain't gonna be a happy day for him, and he's not gonna want to leave the bank with that answer. What the hell is $50 gonna do? Inflation is killing everything, and that's when they're gonna start. What? What? My money's gone. What? Now you come back and they tell you ain't nobody getting nothing now. Look, man, a lot of these things that we look into now and we do lessons on and we go into these kinds of things, a lot of these things people are going to find out what they really mean when it's happening to them. Yes, right, like the brother said, Jake going to start raging. Yes, they are. They're going to start raging. The course of their actions shall stand in their power. Second Ezra 15, there's a reason why Second Ezra 15 is going to happen, and the scriptures tell you because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So what are we seeing before our faces now? Great tribulation. And if you do not have Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham is Hebrew for in the name, Yahushai is the name of his son. The world is going to find out who is behind all of this, and the world is going to find out that there's only one power, the true living power, because he is going to let it be known through his judgments and his terror, but also through his mercy for those that call upon him, the believers, the elect. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. The Lord, that scripture is not in the Bible for no reason. Some huge distinctive factor is going to be known. How did the Babylonians and the Nebuchadnezzar know that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were chosen, that they were men of the Lord? How did Darius and Nebuchadnezzar and Cyrus know that Daniel was a man of the Lord? You know, how did even Antiochus Epiphanes know? All of these men found out through how did Heliodorus know? Because the Lord intervened and showed it. All right. And that's exactly what we are looking towards now, Isaiah 59 and 19. So, as crazy as it may sound, it's also exciting at the same time to witness what our power is going to do on our behalf, to reward us for maintaining faith, for believing in him. So it says here, the country's central bank typically tinkers with its key policy rate in modest 0.25% increments. But Macklem announced September 7th that it would go up by 0.75% after a shocking full percentage point increase in July. That brings the Canadian overnight rate to 3.25%, up from just 0.25% in January. Do you see how much of a jump that is? The effect of rising rates on consumers is immediate. It says here, residential investment is already falling really rapidly. Consumption of durable goods is falling rapidly, notes Carney Charbonneau, senior economist with CIBC. So we're already seeing the impact it's having on consumers. The higher it goes, the more painful it is for consumers. But that's kind of the goal. That's how you get inflation under control, by stopping spending. You hear that? They want to crush demand. So the point is to make it painful for the consumers. And what happens when you got to keep doing this and keep doing this and keep doing this till they snap and they can't take it anymore and they say, no, 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 no more? You're going to have some major civil unrest on your hands. All right. The likes that has never been seen before, pursuant to Jeremiah 30 and 7. in Daniel 12 and 1. So let me put this article also in the live chat. Up, this is Yahweh's truth, Second Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be more than glad that you stay faithful to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai when the Lord starts coming through for his elect in that time. When it's all or nothing and the Lord comes through. Every time you pray to the Lord and boom, you're delivered. Boom. Whatever it is, you know, I mean, the Lord, why do you think Satan tempted the Lord to turn bread to stone? Imagine that. Imagine being able to manipulate the elements to turn anything into anything. Like, do you think you're going to be walking around stressed out in that time? You know, you're not. So, I mean, the Lord has infinite ways, and he's just going to be showing, you know, faith provokes miracles. And if you have faith, there's nothing that's impossible. Just trust in the Lord. Just trust in the Lord. All right. This is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. We are seeing the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, just as Yahushua said. These are the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of famine and great death, because that's what's going to happen as a result. The beginning of wars, which we're also seeing, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Because here they are, and there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. You're going to be affected. The only way out is to be exempted. And that exemption is not coming to everybody. Ezekiel 9 and 4 tells you that. All right. So be prepared. This is Romans 13 and 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. And we know that to be true because these are the final steps before the salvation comes. All right. The salvation is going to come from the destruction. And so this is either going to go very well for some. I mean, it's going to go very well for you, or it's going to go very, very, very bad for you. That's how there's no gray area. There's no in between area. The Lord either got your back or he doesn't. And if he doesn't, then it's going to go very, very badly for you. But if the Lord has your back, it doesn't matter what situation you find yourself in. It'll always go well for you. That's pursuant to Romans, the 8th chapter. All right. For all things work together for good to them that love, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So, this is what's going on around the world. This is what's going on around you. And this is why you should be concerned, because, woo boy, it's about to get painful out here. All right. So pay attention, stay up to date. As the Lord said, watch as well as pray, and as these things start to hit, it will get uncomfortable, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we'll be all right. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.